Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
I mean, just start whenever.
I guess, well, we're starting. This is...
You just hit record.
I did. That's what I did.
In the podcast world. Step number 1 to recording a podcast.
Yes.
Is just hitting record.
And sometimes it's the biggest hurdle.
Yeah.
For some people. Mm-hmm. For us, I've never felt like it was a problem. I feel like just going is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we've gotten that out of the way.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I suppose we can have an episode.
Let's talk.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yeah, whatever.
Welcome to Sushi Jackknife, everyone.
I think this is the first episode in like 10 episodes that we've said welcome to Sushi Jackknife.
Oh, well, certainly within the first like 20 minutes. I mean, we're not even a minute yet.
Yeah, I know.
And we already said it.
Yeah.
So that's a nice thing for people. If you're new, you're probably not. You're not new.
Yeah.
I don't think we have new.
There could be new.
There could be new, but I don't know that we do.
But there could be new.
There could be new. What do you want to talk about? Stuff?
I don't know.
Okay, good.
I'm just having water. That's what I'm having right now. I think this is why we got to the intro this time.
Okay. Yeah.
Is I'm over here with water.
Yeah.
Just, clear-headed.
Yes.
As the day is long because of this Whole30 diet that we're doing at my house.
Right.
Meanwhile, you over there have 2 1/2 beers like a lush.
I'm
just a lush.
I already had 2 beers today. I'm getting sloppy.
Oh man,
5 is a lot for me in a day. I usually have like 2
in a day.
In a day, two in a day, maybe 3
every day.
No, not anymore. There was a time, where pretty much every day.
I think I'd get too tired of anything.
Yeah,
having 2 of any item in a day.
In a day, yeah. Fall is in the air. We were talking about that.
We were at a restaurant the other night, sitting outside,
and the wind was going.
Yes,
and it turned out this is like it's a corner pub. It's right by where you used to work.
Oh, actually. Corner pub.
That corner pub.
Yeah, it's called Corner Pub.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So, didn't know they had like a meat and 3 thing on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Always love a meat and 3 thing.
Yeah.
So I was eating meatloaf and mashed potatoes and okra and turnip greens and drinking Guinness.
Okay.
With a breeze blowing.
Man,
it was wonderful.
That's the dream right there.
Right? Like that. That's what I hope my retirement is like when I'm an if I make it to be an old man.
It's just meatloaf and Guinness.
Pretty much. And like sitting outdoors.
I mean,
or not. Because I could take or leave the outdoors. If it's nice outside, I'm down. If it's hot, I don't want to sit outside.
Yeah, I
don't get people wanting to eat where it's hot.
No, there's something that happens to old people where all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, what's the hottest place on earth?"
Right.
I'd like to go there now. So maybe that's what you'll turn into.
I mean, maybe there are changes. We do go through changes.
Yeah, cool is a young man's game. When you get old, so the Corner Pub.
Yeah.
Right next to it.
Yes.
The Corner Pub's very good.
It's very good.
But right next to it is the Esquina Cantina. Did you see?
I did see that. Yeah, right, like down from it.
Yeah. Owned by the same people.
Oh, for real?
Esquina is Spanish for corner.
Oh, hilarious! I didn't know that.
Not as good.
Okay. I mean, I feel like you can do one or the other, not both.
Well, I rant at this place every time I see it.
Okay.
Because in my mind, there are a few foods that you don't need to make bigger, make different. You don't need to elevate them.
More interesting.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Yeah.
Tacos are one of those foods.
Yeah. You can leave tacos alone.
I know everyone wants to do the fancy taco. They want the weird tacos. You can't improve on a taco.
Yeah.
Just the standard taco is a good taco. You're not. Now, and when I say standard taco, I'm not talking, hard shell with ground beef. I'm talking.
You're talking a real taco.
Yeah, like a real taco.
Like the small tortilla.
Right.
With the meat and the onions and the
barbacoa,
cilantro.
Something like that. Yeah.
Al pastor,
Very
what
good.
have you. Yeah.
Their menu is all. They're trying to be cute with their tacos, and it's all stuff like Philly steak tacos.
Yeah, okay.
Get out of here. What is this?
What is this?
If I want Philly steak, I'll get a sandwich.
Right. Because that's how God intended you to eat that.
Right. If God wanted Philly steak on a taco, he would have put Philadelphia in Mexico.
Welcome to Philadelphia, Mexico.
It's just obnoxious.
It's the coldest part of Mexico.
It's an obnoxious food trend that I hope is gone. I haven't seen it in a while, but I also think that's because no one can leave their house to do anything, really.
Could be. This might be a sign of the times that we're in, Nathan. And maybe a win for you, but Taco Mamacita is also gone.
Oh, darn.
I liked Taco Mamacita, but it was ground zero for exactly what you're talking about.
It was infuriating.
The fusion-y tacos.
Yeah, and I believe that was the place that they tried to charge me for chips and salsa.
I believe they did, yeah.
You know what? If you have a Mexican restaurant and you can't give away chips and salsa, get out.
I don't think there were any Latin people working at Taco Mamacita.
You don't say.
Or attending Taco Mamacita.
Are you telling me that Lena Dunham would not have approved of Taco Mamacita?
It was
cultural appropriation at its finest?
Absolutely it was.
At that point, it's not even cultural appropriation.
Right.
Like, you're not appropriating anything. You're taking the vague idea of a taco and going, I'm going to put other things in there.
However, I did like that taco that they had that had a fried shrimp in it and some kind of sauce. It was very good.
That's a shrimp taco.
Yeah, but it was like Asian-y. It was Asian-y taco-y. I know. I'm just saying. I enjoyed that particular thing. And they had a drink called the Dirty Sanchez, which was a PBR tall boy and a shot of the cheapest tequila they had.
That sounds correct.
Which will, fuck your ass up, honestly.
Well, it
was $5. It was $5 for a shot of tequila and a tall boy PBR. That's a pretty good deal.
That is a good deal.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's hipster right there.
Very hipster.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's the hipsteriest hipster thing you can think of.
I didn't even know that they had that. Now I
enjoyed it.
Now I judge them even more.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, boy, this is real local food talk, whatever. Chewy's is a chain.
Yeah.
There are Chewy's all over the country, I assume.
Yeah, it's Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex. I feel like Chewy's stole the Taco Mamacita crowd, potentially, because Chewy's is cheaper, more, quote-unquote, Mexican-y.
Sure.
Ish.
I would pick it over Taco Mamacita.
And the margaritas flow like water there.
That's very true.
So
plus they hand make their tortillas.
I was gonna say,
and they're very good.
The tortillas are very good at Chewy's.
Everyone should hand make tortillas.
I agree.
We make tortillas in my house.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Fresh tortillas?
Well,
wow.
Okay, so I think we've talked about this a little bit. So
okay, all right.
In the pandemic,
yes,
everyone needed a hobby, right?
Oh, so many hobbies.
And so you saw all the people in the world like, I'm going to make a sourdough starter. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Well, that's a weird hobby to immediately jump to, but whatever. Go for it.
You want to make bread? Make bread.
Yeah.
All right?
No, I don't want to make bread. I want sourdough. So the only hobby weirder than that hobby is my wife's hobby, which just became making everything you normally buy at a store, just making it.
Okay.
All of them. Like making mustard, making ketchup.
Oh, yeah.
Making... she made mayonnaise a whole bunch of times, trying to get the correct consistency.
Yeah.
Making tortillas. Like all of the things that no one ever goes, I need to make that.
Sounds like you had a small condiment factory going as well.
And so I like during the pandemic, I frequently had like witnessed things like her sitting in the living room going, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to go make mustard," and getting up and leaving to go make mustard.
Well, more power to her, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but definitely a one I wouldn't have chosen.
Yeah, we certainly, many of us had pandemic hobbies. I played video games way more than I have in years. Mm-hmm. Mostly just this one on my phone.
Yeah,
I did that a lot, and I worked on my yard, and I took up napping. That was my favorite hobby.
That's a good hobby
of the pandemic.
Did you get good at it?
I got really good at taking a nap about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon till about 3 or 5 o'clock. Yeah, that was fantastic.
I didn't have any more time than I normally have.
I know.
So I didn't get any new hobbies.
You
I just had the same hobbies.
Yeah.
I feel like I missed out on the true pandemic experience.
I think you did, because your work just immediately, not immediately, but pretty much.
No, it was immediately.
Was it? Okay.
It was one Friday. They went, "Hey," I came in the morning, and they were like, "Hey, so if you needed to work from home, do you have stuff to work from home?" And they had asked earlier in the week, so I had thought, okay, maybe I want to pick some stuff up.
Yeah. Right.
So I had the day before. I'm like, yeah, I've got stuff. Okay. I mean, just in case. It's really nothing's really going to happen. And then, like, it was later in the morning.
Right.
My boss's boss, really, came over and was like, man, everyone's just losing their mind over this. Whatever. I don't know. We may have to go home for a week or so. I don't know what they're doing.
Right.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever, Derek. And then it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so don't plan on coming back Monday. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I never went to the building again.
No, you didn't, did you?
Never went back.
That's right. Did you drive by at one point and get stuff put in your trunk? That was like it, though. But you never went back inside.
I never went back in the building.
God, and they don't have it anymore, right?
Nope.
That's so bizarre.
It's just right there over by the Esquina Cantina. Home of the taco no one wants.
Jotting that down. The taco no one wants.
That sounds like the saddest children's book.
You know, you're right. That would be a good. Mm-hmm. We have one called Dragons Love Tacos. Have you read that?
No.
That one? It's actually pretty good.
What do dragons want on their tacos?
Well, it's interesting that you ask, because that is the crux of the book.
Okay.
They want everything. They want your basic white people grocery store taco. They want a crispy shell, the ground beef, the shredded cheese, the lettuce, the tomato. That's pretty much it. If you put spicy salsa on your taco for a dragon, they uncontrollably belch fire and burn your house down.
Oh, don't do that then.
Right. And so the kid in the book does a great job of setting up a taco party. That's the opposite of a sausage party. Right. Everybody, that's when you find yourself in nothing but ladies all around. Sets up a massive taco party. Is doing a great job. Dragons are all having a great time. Didn't read the fine print on one of the jars of salsa. Mild salsa, now with jalapenos. And so they burn down his house, accidentally, of course, and then they come help rebuild his house.
Well, you know what he should have had? Sour cream.
I mean, it would have counteracted, right? That's what you do.
Just in case. You never... Which is more offensive of a taco?
All right.
The weird fusion tacos that I rant about.
Right.
Or the white person taco. Like when you compare them to an actual taco.
Okay.
Which is the more offensive taco?
That's a great question. Oh, P.S. I just want to say this before I forget. We have to resurrect white people racial slur of the week.
Okay.
for just today because I heard a new one that I've never heard before.
I'm all for it.
All right. So, which is more offensive?
Tacos al gringo.
Yeah.
Or
that should be our taco restaurant.
or the fusion tacos, where they're going, hey, a taco, but it's a sloppy Joe too.
So here's the thing: both I feel are creations of white people.
Oh yeah,
and so in the case of the fusion taco, it's sort of white people ripping off one culture and another.
That's true.
So you're ripping off two cultures. Mm-hmm. And in the tacos a la gringo, al gringo,
it's just
one.
It's just sucking at tacos,
right? So I think that is less offensive because it's just tacos through our cultural lens. Mm-hmm. Okay,
that one is just it's tacos where you're going. I don't know that I can handle that weird al pastor meat.
Yeah. Right. Oh, that's the one to get. God,
that al pastor.
That shit is so good.
No, man, I want the weird stuff. I want some lingua.
The tongue. The tongue taco's good.
Lingua's good.
Yeah, lingua's. I'm down with lingua.
Some places will have the cabeza.
The brain.
It's head stuff.
Head. I don't know about that.
They're all pretty good.
Okay.
Tripe is good.
I've had the tongue taco.
I like the tripe.
I don't know about the. I don't know.
Come on.
I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. Okay, so white people racial slur of the week. I will not be resurrecting whatever audio clip we used to play because I don't know where the fuck it is. Okay. I mean, I do.
That's fair.
But the truth about this episode is there probably won't be an intro because I am going out of town in like 2 days and tomorrow's pretty packed. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to get this out real fast.
Okay.
So my apologies.
It's a lot of explanation for just not giving people something.
That's what I'm trying, but I want them to know.
All right.
All right. So I follow a little Twitter account called Belmont Confessions.
Oh boy.
Which is people Belmont is a local university here in Nashville. And
filled with a lot of people who would love Taco Mamacita.
God.
Just so many
They
people.
could work there, they could eat there. It's the whole 9 yards.
It's their taco dream come true.
It's their manna. It's a beautiful little Twitter account. I think one of my friends turned me on to it because people anonymously complain about things on there, right? So here's one. This is not the one I'm referencing, but here's a recent one. To the boy who made it clear he was a freshman by having his hickeys loud and proud, wear a fucking mask. I get you're new here, but for some of us, this is our last semester. So please, let's not waste spending $50,000 a year. Kisses and hearts.
I did not see that complaint going that direction.
Right? Pretty good.
I heard hickeys. I did not expect it to be a masking issue.
There's a lot of that. Here's another one. Guys, my roommate had a boy spend the night. We're girls. And I didn't realize it until I was drying off from my shower and I heard a guy's voice. I think he might be related and I think he might be gay, but still, what do I do? That seems a little more typical.
Okay, well, I want to handle that one. I'm actually going to field that question here.
Please do.
Just like get dressed.
Yeah, get dressed, get the hell out of there. Whatever.
I pretty much solved that one immediately.
People are doinking. It's college.
Yeah.
It's a doink fest. For some.
I mean, as long as he's not like in the room with you when you get out of the shower and start drying off, it's not even a weird situation. It's just a thing that happened.
Yeah, there you go. So here's the one. Here's the one where I heard a slur I'd never heard.
Okay.
And maybe you've heard it. I don't know. Saw a Belmont senior who is white, all caps, lay her edges. That's something to do with hair, I understand.
Sounds like it.
And post about it on Insta. As a woman of color, it's upsetting to see people who pretend to be woke then do this ignorant shit. Go steal a different culture, Mayo Monkey. Have you ever heard of Mayo Monkey?
So
It's a new one on me.
I will tell you.
All right.
I've heard mayo used a lot, mayonnaise a lot.
Yeah.
Mayo Monkey is new, and I really appreciate that one. That
Right?
one's very good.
That's a good one, right? It's on. I did look it up. It's on Urban Dictionary, which they say it's something to do with the fact that white people like mayonnaise.
No, that's the thing.
Okay.
We're all very bland and we like mayonnaise.
I mean, I do like mayonnaise.
Yeah, you're white.
Right. It's true.
See, I'm an anomaly. I don't really like mayonnaise that much.
Well, I have an increasing like for mayonnaise.
You're getting
I'm
whiter?
getting whiter.
That's a problem. And also, I would like to say that to this poster, I don't know what any of the hair stuff is.
Yeah, apparently I asked a friend. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's something African American people do with their hair that white people have no need to do with their hair.
Well, regardless,
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with her because
Yeah.
the woke people who do obnoxious things
Yeah.
are the worst.
They're the worst.
I go back and forth, honestly, in my life, on whether 20-year-old woke people
Yes.
or people who are openly racist are actually worse in my eyes.
Yes.
Because at least the openly
Yes.
racist people
Are
are
honest.
They're going, I'm racist.
Yeah.
Here I am.
I don't care for you.
Right.
Based on nothing except the color of your
Right.
skin.
But the woke crowd
Yeah.
is the crowd that I support them. I'm going to lock my doors though right now cuz I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I drove into North Nashville.
Stop it. Just stop.
Locking. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's the thing. I mean, it's an extra. It's you know what? It's a double taco scenario. Mm-hmm. Because
They're the fusion taco.
Yeah, those people. This chick laying her edges, who is white, is a double taco.
Yeah. You know what? Also, ironically, the two groups we just described,
Yeah.
they would eat their corresponding tacos as their go-to taco.
Oh, you're right.
The woke crowd would
eat the
be
fusion.
eating an Asian fusion taco.
You're right.
And the racist crowd, it's a taco from Walmart.
You're
so
totally
it's whatever
right.
they have at Walmart.
That's right. So I hope I'm in neither of these camps. I'm certainly not openly racist, but I hope I'm not one of these secretly racist woke. I don't know how woke I am.
You're not that woke.
Okay.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
So this is what I've decided.
All right.
When you reach woke status, you are no longer productive towards anything.
You're just an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The people who get to the woke side of things,
Yeah.
it's the equivalent of like the Morrissey level vegans.
Right. Who also hate Arabs, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morrissey's not woke.
Yeah. No.
But
Muslims, I think, specifically.
he
He just doesn't like brown.
he hates everybody that's not a Mayo monkey.
I do like Morrissey, though. Love your music, buddy. Get your shit together.
But yeah, once you reach the point where you're just judging everybody for not reaching your weird standard of wokeness.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the people. That's where you start getting the white savior
Right.
area where
Right.
I need to get on Twitter and defend that person. And every person of said minority is like, we don't care.
You just become a preachy asshole.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and also shouldn't you let people defend themselves?
Yeah, the
right?
group that is being attacked
Yeah.
should get to have first say
Exactly. Like
on whether it's offensive.
you shouldn't beat them to the punch. Like the whole thing is you need to take a back seat.
Right. Now,
You need to sit down.
I mean,
and listen.
there are situations where you can go, wow, that's obviously racist.
Right. And you can be like, look, you're being shitty, dude.
Right.
Quit.
That,
Yeah.
but,
Excuse me, that was a scam.
oh no.
Yeah.
Are they trying to buy your house?
I don't know, but it was likely.
Yeah.
It was a scam that was likely.
Yeah, that's one situation. But then the other situation where, like in this scenario, if I had called out the girl for doing the thing to her hair,
Right.
I don't know if that's offensive. I'm not even 100% certain what that thing is.
Me either. Someone tried to explain it to me, and I still don't know what it is.
And so then I would be being in that phony, weird woke crowd where I'm getting outraged about nothing.
Right.
that I have any knowledge of.
Exactly. So you're just mad for basically no reason?
Yeah. Now, once it's explained to me that's something African American women do,
Yes.
not white women, and they're trying to steal it,
Right.
then I can go, wow, that does suck. She sucks as a person.
This is a real fusion taco scenario.
Yeah. she is a fusion taco person. Bunch of Mayo Monkeys.
Fucking Mayo Monkeys. You know what?
That one does sound.
It's mean.
That one
I like it.
does have a little bit of a kick to
Got
it.
a bite, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we used to say, I think the bit used to be like, are you offended?
Yeah, I'm still not offended.
I'm not
by it.
offended either, but
but I think I could see where someone would be offended
yeah,
by.
my hackles raised
Yeah.
a bit. My hackles came up a notch.
Like, I mean, comparing that to like Ditch Pig.
Yeah, ditch
Going
pig
back.
was a classic
Yeah.
white people racial slur.
That one's not. No one's getting offended.
Who
by
understands that even?
Ditch. In fact, Ditch Pig sounds like a Southern rock band. That sounds like a band that would have opened for Leonard Skinner.
Or 38 special or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. And here comes ditch pig.
Yeah, Mayo Monkey does have a little kick to it.
It does. Unlike mayonnaise.
Yeah, well
which
played.
we prefer.
It's just spices scare.
I made sriracha mayo the other day. Is that fusion-y garbage? I just put mayonnaise and sriracha together and mixed it up.
That's what half of the restaurants call an aioli.
I know. It was delicious. I made my own aioli.
I made an aioli. No, you put some stuff in mayonnaise. But
Right,
get out
exactly. Fuck you. Belmont Confessions, 9 hours ago. All right. This is being recorded Thursday, September 9th. If you're in the JAAC, second floor women's restroom, I am so sorry. I just absolutely demolished it. I don't know what the JAAC is. I assume that's one of the buildings.
Kudos.
Right. Okay, a lot of complaining about various shit. 12 hours ago. Sorry, did you have a thought?
I'm just
Okay.
I'm just wondering how demolished.
I mean, you could have posted a picture.
That would have been very
nice.
helpful. for
Belmont
this.
Confessions, please post pictures.
Yeah.
12 hours ago. Imagine being in a room listening to Oceanic Feeling by Lord. I can't imagine that. I don't know what that is.
No.
I know what Lord is and I know what the ocean is, but
Yes.
I don't know.
I can imagine what a song by Lord called Oceanic Feeling would be like.
Might sound like. Only to hear your roommate blast 1,000 miles. No hate to that song, but what the fuck am I doing here? Is it which 1,000 miles? See, I'm old because my brain goes to and I would have what? That's 500 miles.
No,
500 miles.
I'm assuming it's making my way downtown. That one,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah. That's probably it. Vanessa Carlton or something.
something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, that's a throwback. That's from that era where every like 1 month you had a new one-hit wonder.
Yeah, that's true. 20 hours ago. To the person who was playing Claire de Lune on the piano in Wilson 105 at
Oddly
11:30
specific.
p.m., right? I had a stressful ass night practicing, and hearing that made my night.
Oh, that's a very nice one.
I love you. It was very nice.
I like that one.
Yeah. For anyone who went to the 100 Days of Gratitude thing, did anyone bring up mandating the vaccine? And if so, how did it go? Okay, that kind of petered out. Okay.
That didn't sound like a very that didn't sound like gratitude in that post.
Nope.
Do you yell about things at the 100 Days of Gratitude event?
I don't know. That could have been my interpretation. 22 hours ago. Where can we report professors for not wearing masks? I got a retweet and 20 likes.
What you do. I've got this one under control too.
All right.
All right. So I don't know if you own a pellet gun. But if you own a pellet gun, just take it with you everywhere you go. Someone doesn't have a mask on, start pelleting them. You won't kill them. You won't really hurt them.
Right.
It's just gonna sting, and they're going
to hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah. You make your point. Yeah.
right. It's negative reinforcement. You don't wear a mask, I shoot you with a pellet gun.
So what we need to do is station you on top of one of their buildings.
Right.
This could be your new job.
Hey!
I would also.
How much does pellet gun operator pay?
Hey. I don't know, but I could do it. I mean, we could volunteer our time. To
That's
be
true.
honest. Yeah. 22 hours ago. This one is very specific. Donovan Phillips is so hot, but I think he has a girlfriend. Crying. Do I shoot my shot anyway?
Okay, so what you want to do is get a pellet gun.
All right, last one. Also 22 hours ago.
No, don't shoot your shot.
To the guy who accidentally cut me with his pocket knife in the JAAC this morning.
Whoa!
A lot going on in the JAAC.
Whoa!
Is that the athletic center? That's
What?
got to be the athletic center.
So everyone's just pooping and cutting and cutting with pocket knives. Why do you have a pocket knife at the JAAC?
Right? To the guy who accidentally cut me with his pocket knife in the JAAC this morning after I opened the door for you. You think this is prison? Apparently he does.
I need more information for that. I'm gonna be honest. That's not nearly enough information. Was he just brandishing the pocket knife? Did he pull it out after you held the door open for him?
Questions. There are several replies, but none of them seem informative.
It is not the gym.
What is it? What's the JAAC?
It is the Janet Ayers Academic Center.
Oh, okay. That's a newer building. When I was there, and I was only there for 2 years, and I had already done stuff, so I wasn't like a fresh-faced child. When I was there, that building wasn't there, so that's a relatively new building.
It's the first ever intentionally designed chapel.
Oh. People getting cut and shitting in the chapel?
That's all they do at this chapel.
Who fucks in the chapel? I would like to know.
Probably pocket knife guy. You know he's not respecting the chapel.
I mean,
he's cutting people at the door.
This is a very college one. Is there anyone who has a 35 millimeter film camera that they could sell me?
There are a lot of places you can buy those.
Yeah, they're around.
You don't have to ask on Twitter. You can just like go to a store.
No.
Get on, eBay.
Right.
Did you sign up for a photography class and forget that you needed a camera for that?
I think that's probably what happened.
Uh-oh.
Oh, all right. For the person who asked, who's the hottest professor on campus? It's Jesus. And I want you to turn to him and confess your sins, you little nasty. All right.
Man, Belmont's it's a place.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on.
Now, what would you say if you found out that last one was from the guy who is cutting people at the chapel with his pocket knife?
I'm going 60-40. 65? 35?
It's possible.
I need some guy to take cute pictures with me at the park to make another guy jealous, but then we end up falling for each other like a Hallmark movie. Any takers? That was 22 hours ago.
Okay.
No replies.
I'm gonna take a second here.
All right.
This needs to be said to any college age females that are listening that have thought that's a good tactic. A great way to make sure no guy asks you out is in your initial
That's right.
statement.
That's correct.
Say, hey, how about we just fall in love right now, huh? Like a Hallmark movie. A very realistic expectation for a relationship.
Also, you have this elaborate thing already dreamed up. Men running the other way.
That having your own Hallmark movie scenario planned out is, I don't know what's a redder flag than a red flag, but it's that. It's just a whole field of red flags.
It is. That really is. Honestly, that's like you sprayed bear mace on yourself.
Yeah.
to a young man.
Oh, boy.
One day ago, the cold brew machine in corner court is still out of order, and that's the reason for my depression.
Now I feel worried about that person.
You shouldn't. That's a first world problem.
Well, I know, but I mean, if they're really, really depressed because they can't have iced coffee, they have a very low threshold for depression.
True. Two more.
Okay.
And I think the last one's going to lead us into another thing.
Okay.
Yesterday. Is there some sort of alt indie show happening?
Just in general?
Yeah. It's a very college thing to ask.
Like on campus, off campus, just in the world?
One reply.
Yes.
Throw a rock on a Friday night and you'll hit 3 house shows. That gets a like. I'm an old man and I'm liking that. All right, next one. Last one. Not a confession, but I am certain there are a lot of students who grew up with this that would appreciate it. And of course, we're talking about this.
Hi. You got a second?
Oh. The guy from Blue's Clues?
How
Guys
when
from
we were
Blue's
younger,
Clues.
we
Guys
used
from
to run around and hang out with Blue and find clues and
Fuck kids. No, he didn't fuck kids.
No.
That was a rumor, though.
There are always...
I know.
Everyone has those rumors.
I know, but he just went to college.
Yeah.
And that was okay, you know how the news happens. And you might, in my world, I might talk to one person and they haven't heard this particular piece of news. I might talk to someone else and they have. Or another person who has no idea what I'm talking
Right.
about. This is how life works.
Yeah.
Every single human I've talked to about this Blue's Clues thing knows about it.
Yeah. I know about it. Do you know how much Blue's Clues I watched as a child?
0.
0. I don't think I watched 1 second of that show. And I know this somehow.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I knew it was on. I was too old for it by the time it was happening.
I think I was too old for it by the time it was
Yeah,
happening.
I mean, we're nearly the same age. I'm a little bit older than you. But like
I think my sister was too old,
okay.
and she's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah. A person I know who is 10 years younger than me definitely grew up with it. Hardcore. Okay. I remember it being on after the show, or probably before the shows that I wanted to watch on Nickelodeon, right? And I was already probably, God knows, 12 or something when this was happening.
Right.
But yeah, no, so people I think who are staunchly millennials or Gen Zers, it seems, have certainly seen this show. I mean, we're millennials, but
we creep in there.
We're elder millennials,
Oh, yeah.
I believe we're called. So, yeah, it was a big deal. And I love the way the guy did it, though, because I remember seeing him on TV and thinking, this is a creepy man.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared. And then I heard a lot of rumors, that he raped children, and that's why he wasn't on TV anymore.
Right.
Not true. Not true.
Yeah, it's actually a really boring story.
Yeah, he went to college.
Yeah. You know what bugged me? So I watched the video.
Yeah.
Because I kept hearing about it. You know what bugged me? He didn't tell me what he went to college for.
You know, I would have liked to have known.
Wouldn't that be a good...
It would be much more interesting to know.
I have no idea what he does now.
You know, so we do this other show about Bob Ross.
Yeah.
This guy has a bit of the same magic
He kind
that
of
Bob
does.
has, because he looks dead into the camera and talks to an individual. Now, really, he's talking to lots of people.
Right.
But
It
feels like it's directed directly at you.
He was able to speak directly to children, not in a creepy way.
Yeah.
Just in a way.
Just in a way that, and you know, I was actually touched by what he had to say. I thought it was very genuine and well said.
But I still don't know what he does.
No, I'd like to know what he does now. Are you going to look that up?
I'm
All right. Well, you look that up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
All right. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was great.
one day I was like, oh, hey, guess what? Big news. I'm leaving. This is my brother Joe. He's your new best friend. And then I got on a bus and I left. And we didn't see each other for like a really long time. Can we just talk about that? Great. Because I realized that was kind of abrupt. I just kind of got up and went to college. And that was really challenging, by the way, but great, because I got to use my mind and take a step at a time, and now I literally am doing many of the things that I wanted to do. And then look at you, and look at all you have done, and all you have accomplished in all that time. And it's just so amazing, right? I mean, we started out with clues, and now it's what? Student loans, and jobs, and families, and some of it has been kind of hard. You know? I know you know. And I wanted to tell you that I really couldn't have done all of that without your help.
Ugh,
And in fact,
my man.
all the help that you helped me with when we were younger is still helping me today, right now. And that's super cool. I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you,
Ugh,
ever.
stab me in the heart, bro.
And I'm super glad we're still friends. Thanks for listening. You look great, by the way. Whatever it is you're doing, it's working.
Way to
Okay,
go.
so we have established he attended DeSalle University in Pennsylvania,
Okay. All right.
number 59 in the regional universities north from U.S. News and World Report.
That's not great.
And he
fine.
majored in theater.
Oh. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. However, in the midst of this, I did find this.
Okay.
And
Did he rape children?
yes, that's exactly it. No.
Okay.
This is from Wikipedia.
All right.
After nearly 6 years and 100 episodes, Burns announced that he would be departing Blue's Clues in 2002.
Uh-huh.
According to Johnson, whoever Johnson is in this scenario,
Just a talking dick.
yeah, Burns never wanted to become, quote, a children's host.
Okay.
He loved kids, but stated he could not make a lifelong career out of it.
Fair enough.
Burns went on by saying, I knew I wasn't going to be doing children's television all my life, mostly because I refused to lose my hair on a kid's TV show, and it was happening very fast.
Fair enough.
The day following the filming of his final episode of the show, he shaved his head, something that he wanted to do for many years, but the show's producers would not allow.
Oh.
On the FAQ section of his website, when asked why he shaved his head and if he had been trying to make a statement, Burns replied, yes, the statement is, we have male pattern baldness.
I like this guy. I like my and looking at the video, he's got the hat on, but it looks like his head is shaved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
He's got the Moby,
he's
the Michael Stipe.
actually it's
the
very
Billy Corgan.
It's very Moby. He's very Moby-esque.
Yes, he's wow, without the hat.
Yeah, without the
My
hat.
God.
He's very Moby.
And you would never know that was the Blues Clues guy.
Not at
to
all.
be honest.
No.
Wow.
So
That's actually wild to see him without the hat, without the hair.
yeah.
He looks great though.
Yeah.
Yeah, oddly, speaking of Moby, I listened to a lot of Moby interviews in the past week or so.
Why?
Well, it's a great question. It's a fair question.
Yeah.
It's a fair question.
I feel like actually that's the question anytime Moby's name comes up in any context.
Yes.
The question is just why?
You're not wrong. So I think he's in the media right now because he has a record out that is a reimagining of basically the Play album, but done without any electronics for the most part.
Why?
Exactly. However, it led to some insightful interviews. So I occasionally listen to this songwriting podcast by these guys in Liverpool, not the Beatles, but nice fellas. They do a good job. They've interviewed everybody from Paul Simon on down, right? So Moby came on. I listened to that, and then that led me to listen to some other interviews with him, which were interesting. And so he's an interesting guy. He seems humble, but I'm not sure that he really is in listening to him.
Is it fake humble?
I don't know, but it's like maybe he has both at the same time.
Is it he thinks he's humble, but he's not humble?
Could be that. Interesting stuff, though. So through him being, I mean, the Play record went insane, right? And before that, he'd been dropped from his label because right before that, he made a punk album.
Oh, really?
Interesting. So he made electronic music. He was in the scene of electronic music and did some big remixes and stuff, right? And then he made a record that did really well, electronic. And then for some reason, he made a punk record. It's called Animal Rights. And it's available. You can find it. It's not like they're hiding it. It's out there. And that obviously completely bombed because no one was expecting that from him. And then he got dropped from his label. And it was kind of in that in-between period where he was working on Play. And then obviously Play became this huge thing. A lot of the samples in Play, by the way, I didn't know this, came from the Alan Lomax field recordings. And so this brought up a lot of interesting issues for me. I mean, well, let's not get there yet. Let's just go on with the interesting stories.
Real quick before we do that, can we talk about Moby being a bad person?
Let's do. What did he do?
I mean, I'm not saying he did anything specifically.
Okay.
However, on Reddit, under the Let's Talk Music category, is Moby a bad person?
That's a whole category?
Yeah, a whole conversation.
Wow.
Where apparently the people from Sound Opinions
Oh yeah,
they on NPR have implied
show.
he's a bad person.
Okay.
So here are some reasons people think he's a bad person.
This is going to probably get into what I was thinking. Go ahead.
He's just a self-aggrandizing weirdo.
Yeah, maybe.
Who doesn't know when to shut up, and that rubs people the wrong way.
Could be that.
The Natalie Portman thing.
Don't remember that.
Is messed up. I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. The whole deal with Natalie Portman was really creepy, and she was barely 18 when they met.
She was in Leon the Professional as a child. I wonder if that's where he saw her. Anyway.
Only Moby and Natalie know what... Okay, it's all about Natalie Portman and Moby.
So that's why he might be a bad guy. See, I thought it might have been because he, like so many other musicians, sampled a lot of black artists as a white guy. This is getting back to the taco scenario. And, okay...
Oh, he would be a fusion taco, for sure.
To boot. And so I'm not going to tell people it's wrong to do because I like sampling.
Yeah.
I'm into sampling. I think it's neat.
I don't have
I don't have a particular problem. What he sampled a lot on the Play record were field recordings from people who were long dead, who the general public was not going to hear those recordings.
Right.
But he made some of those things famous, and that's really cool. Those voices got heard in a way they never would have before. I'm not shitting on that. I just didn't know if it was kosher or not.
So,
you know,
my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
And I guess it could go back to tacos as well.
It's all tacos, man.
It's tacos all the way down.
Tacos all the way down. That's a better world.
There we go.
Who wants to eat all those turtles?
Yeah. No, you want tacos all the way down. Just increasingly
large.
Yeah.
I love you.
So
much.
If you're using samples or things like that,
yeah,
there's a difference. We'll go into it in the rap world.
Yes. Okay, great. Where it all began.
Now,
sampling.
I'm going to mention Eminem, and I know he's problematic. However,
yes,
I can't think of another white rapper that possibly would fit into this category.
Okay.
So
all right.
He's the only one who slides in right now.
Fair enough.
There's a difference between Eminem sampling something because it's more of an homage to a culture he appreciates
yeah.
versus Post Malone sampling something.
Okay,
because he wants money.
Sure. And when you think about...
Two very different things.
Right. And so I don't know where Moby falls in that. I do think a lot of the tracks on that album and some of his other tracks are really great. And, you know, you can make the same argument of people like Chemical Brothers, who were really big at that time. This whole genre they called big beat, which I really like, which is a lot of sampled break beats from records, mostly played by black people, you know, where the drummer, just like in hip hop, where a drummer would take a break.
Right.
You know, meaning they would play just drums for a few seconds, and that becomes the basis for a whole track.
Right.
You know, I mean, I love a lot of that stuff, both the original material and the sampled material. So it's hard, but, you know, I didn't know. I was just thinking about it this week is all I'm saying. Anyway, the other thing about Moby.
I found the Natalie Portman story.
Okay, please. And then I'll tell you the David Bowie story.
Oh, boy.
The Moby David Bowie story. It's a good story.
Okay.
Yeah.
It could go either way with Moby here. Moby has discussed the controversy behind his claims that he once dated Natalie Portman in a new interview.
Okay.
Back in 2019, an excerpt from Moby's book, Then It Fell Apart, heard the musician recount taking the actor for a drink and later kissing her while visiting her at Harvard.
Yeah! Woo!
Soon after, Natalie Portman refuted the claims that she was involved in a romantic relationship with him, saying she found it disturbing that false stories were being used to promote the book. After days of criticism and reflection, Moby apologized to Natalie, as well as the other people I wrote about in Then It Fell Apart without telling them beforehand.
Right. Okay.
Let's see.
This is one of his memoirs, I believe. He's written several memoirs.
And apparently this one... he still has not admitted that he didn't date her.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, boy. So the David Bowie story.
Yeah.
Sounds like the Natalie Portman is inconclusive.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't care.
According to Moby, David is gone from this world. May he rest in peace, along with Biz Markie and so many others.
Yes.
Biz Markie comes to mind because that was recent.
Yeah.
And I listened to Just a Friend and was reminded that Auto-Tune came down from heaven to save us all.
Oh no, I liked it better that way.
You like no, I'm joking. I do.
It's very pleasant.
He's not a great singer, Biz Markie.
Very bad.
But it's so charming.
Yeah.
It's so fucking charming. I love it. And he seemed like a great guy. So I quite like Biz Markie. May he rest in peace. All right, so David Bowie and Moby. So apparently Moby was living somewhere in New York.
That sounds right.
Right? And turned out he got an email out of the blue from David Bowie saying, hey, it looks like I'm going to be your neighbor pretty soon. So they were living in the same neighborhood. And apparently, according to Moby, David Bowie would come by his place sometimes, bring coffee from what I can only imagine is the fanciest coffee place in existence.
Or Folgers.
It could be. It could go either way.
Yeah.
And they would sit and talk, and they rarely talked about music, but there was one occasion where this is around the time of Bowie's Heathen album, which I actually have and actually like quite a lot. It's very good. So David at one point played Moby a song, and Moby told him what he thought, and then it was like a rare. Moby loved it, of course. Thought it was the best thing one of the best things David Bowie had ever written. And then David sort of clammed up, as because his whole thing is about presenting something other than his actual self.
Right.
Right. I'm a big David Bowie fan. Right. As most people should be.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
quality.
a little worried if you dislike David Bowie.
Yeah,
you can have neutral feelings.
Neutral feelings. Yeah.
Dislike, I don't know.
It's a different thing. So the interesting story was everyone knows the song Heroes. One of these coffee mornings, apparently David comes by with coffee, and for some reason he and Moby start sitting around and working on an acoustic version of Heroes.
Okay.
And Moby says that he learns along the way that Heroes was originally written or come up with because Bowie was trying to do a cover of Waiting for My Man by Velvet Underground. It's very established that he produced a couple Lou Reed records, at least Transformer. I don't know about any other. So he was a big fan of Velvet Underground, right? As he should be.
Right.
Fantastic stuff. And so Waiting for My Man, if you listen to Waiting for My Man, I'm waiting for my man. We You know,
Right.
or how does Heroes go? I can remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got the same little cadence to it. So if Moby is to be believed,
Right.
that's pretty interesting.
However, Moby does have a history of lying.
Apparently. So, I mean, that's the vibe after I listened to a few interviews. I was like, this dude, I don't know if he's just had an amazing life and he really wants to tell people about it, or if he is really in love with the idea of his life being a really interesting life.
It can be both.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
okay, so here's the line.
Okay.
Is he telling stories that are about his life, or is he social media-izing his life?
Yeah, could be that.
Does he have that Facetune going on his life?
Facetune?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It's an app where you can make your face look better for your pictures.
Are you kidding? Is that a thing?
Oh, of course that's a thing.
Oh,
Come
yeah,
on.
you're right. That just makes me want to post ugly pictures of myself.
I mean,
Unflattering.
it's not
let's say.
going to change the world.
You're right. But I have a weird reaction.
People are shallow.
True. Yeah. And
Human,
yeah.
that sounds judgmental, but human beings naturally are shallow.
I mean, there are evolutionary reasons for being shallow.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure.
we're only deep or unshallow because we try not to be shallow.
Well, you have to make a decision not to be shallow,
Right.
or you can be like Moby and just make everyone constantly hear about how you're not shallow by
Yeah.
telling stories that may or may not be true.
And to listen to him, you know, his story is pretty dramatic because he grew up, and I'm not doubting any of this, I'm just saying what he says. He grew up with a single mom. They were pretty poor. They were, you know, receiving government assistance. He eventually goes to New York. He pays a security guard $50 a month to look the other way so he can crash at this abandoned warehouse. And apparently there are other people crashing there as well. It's the kind of situation where people ride motorcycles up and down the hallway. You know, it's basically just there's no running water. I guess there's electricity because somehow he made all these records. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That sounds like a big hole there.
You know what, Nathan? I didn't see it before, but now that I'm telling you about it, and you're saying maybe. So I don't know. He seems to romanticize his life at some
Which,
level.
I mean, you know, more power to him.
Sure, more power to him.
I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
Just, you know,
Yeah.
celebrities are all phony. Don't trust them.
Let's just not make another. You know, I don't think we need another Southside. That song. I'm good.
Yeah.
That's not my favorite Moby tune.
Or, you know, we could just not have more Moby. I mean, I'm just spitballing here
Yeah.
for solutions
Sure.
to the problem we have.
Yeah.
Like, we could not make that song or just any of the others.
Apparently, his name also comes from being distantly related to Herman Melville or something. This sounds like more of the same.
See, I'm going to need to see I need to see a 23andMe,
Right.
an Ancestry.com. I don't...
You're not buying it anymore.
It's just too many things.
Right. It's too many things.
If I had just the David Bowie story,
Right.
for instance.
Right.
I'd believe that.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. If I had, you know, just the warehouse story,
Yeah.
maybe I'd believe that.
Right.
It's too many. That's too many.
Yeah, you're right. The Herman Melville, the warehouse story, the Bowie. He also has a story about sound checking, or hearing Paul McCartney at a sound check play "Hey Jude," and how "Hey Jude's" not even his favorite Beatles song, but how amazing that is.
Okay, see, another one I'm going to throw out there too. Someone going out of their way to say "Hey Jude" is not my favorite Beatles song.
Yeah.
First off, it's an amazing song.
It's one of the greatest songs ever written.
So
Yeah,
by going out of your way, that's like getting the cool points.
you're right. You're right.
Like,
You're right.
yeah, no, I know that everyone likes this Beatles album, but my favorite Beatles album is this, and picking one of the...
If you say the White Album, fuck you.
Yeah, that's true.
The White Album is not as good as the
That's
other
true.
ones. Fuck you.
I will agree with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mine's Abbey Road. I love Abbey Road.
Get out of here. But I mean, like, the oddball one, obviously,
Yeah.
every single time would be any of the early ones.
Right.
As they're...
Help is my favorite Beatles
Right.
album.
That's a weird
Fuck
choice.
you. Double fuck you.
You're being too trendy.
Yeah.
Or the people... When I was in high school, there were people who disliked the Green Day album Dookie.
Fuck them.
Because they really liked the stuff that came out before Dookie.
Fuck you.
Get out.
Dookie is amazing.
Get out of here.
Dookie is such a great record. Fuck you.
I mean, I'm sure there are people who do genuinely like the other stuff better, but the people who have to go, no, they're early stuff for every band.
Fuck you.
Sometimes bands aren't great when they start.
That's true. Sometimes.
It happens.
Yeah, sometimes they get better as they go.
The early stuff
Yeah.
is not always the best stuff. The early stuff is the best for Weezer,
Absolutely, that's true.
and that's pretty much the only one I can name that is for sure the best.
Off the top of your head.
Yeah.
Anyone who says the first Radiohead is the best Radiohead can fuck off because
Yeah.
they don't know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first Radiohead record's not that great.
No.
I mean, it's good.
They increased
got
in
better.
quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like as they got older and practiced music more,
Yeah.
they improved at songwriting and playing songs. I don't know. Sometimes I say crazy things. I don't know if that makes any sense.
You do. But I have one final question.
Yeah.
What kind of taco is Moby having on a Tuesday night in his New York apartment?
Okay, well, it's got to be vegan.
Yeah, he is very vegan.
Yeah. He's almost that Morrissey level.
Oh, I think
vegan.
he's beyond. He's at
Maybe
he's
that's
at least
another reason I don't trust him.
because he's vegan.
Well, he's not. It's not that he's vegan.
It's
that would make
he's-
me. There's vegan and then there's vegan.
You're right.
And he's vegan.
Yeah.
Vegan is just like, oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna eat that. Like I don't eat meat.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
But you're not.
Oh yeah, no. I guess I'll probably just get a salad because vegan.
Yeah.
So that's normal level of vegan.
Sure.
Moby and Morrissey level of vegan is, hey, where's that guy from Belmont? I need to borrow his pocket knife to go stab some people who are eating steak.
Right.
I'm such a vegan, I will murder human beings to make sure they don't eat meat. Okay, so it would be a vegan taco.
Yeah. Which already sucks. Why even?
Well,
eat
it's
it?
definitely got vegan mayonnaise on it.
Veganese.
Yeah, it's definitely got that on it. Because, I mean, if there's one thing we know about Moby, he's definitely a Mayo Monkey. Ooh, boy.
You feel like it's some kind of.
It's gonna be something really obnoxious and pretentious.
Yeah.
It probably has kimchi on it.
That's what I was gonna. There had to be some sort of pickled element.
Yeah, there's got to be kimchi somewhere on there.
Yep. Yep.
Which-
No, I agree.
I don't want to insult people who like kimchi, but if I never tasted it again in my life, I'd probably be okay with that. It's vegetables that didn't make it. I'm not interested.
Vegetables that didn't make it.
Yeah, they didn't make it all the way. I don't know. It may just be
Just the kimchi.
vegan mayonnaise and kimchi.
Kimchi.
Ugh.
That sounds like the worst taco ever.
But if you were to ask Moby about it, not only is it the best taco ever, but he got that taco recipe himself from Chuck Berry.
Sushi jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife.
One last Belmont confession.
Oh boy.
Wait, hold up. Does Starbucks have the pumpkin cream cold brew? Good night, everybody. Uh.